Alrighty, so good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and start our weekly prep. Hopefully, and just an FYI, again, March 1st is class, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's worth it. And then secondly, I'm gonna try to do a content shift. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be posting individual videos or videos on individual stocks, breaking them down specifically, and then posting that. So inside of the free Discord and regular Discord, if you're in there, then go ahead and or starting next week, I'll ask, please drop your request and your charts, and I will be going over those if those setups are good, not if they're bad. If they're good setups, they get added. All right, website potterstockstrading.com. All right, so let's start by taking a look this evening first at our Forex factory and just get an idea of what we have going into this week. Again, not really super hyper focused on everything, but there's a lot of data this week. Important data, core durable goods. Tomorrow we have Empire State Manufacturing Index. We have core durable goods orders, durable goods orders. And then we have FOMC meetings on, again, this is really not relevant to us and not important. Unemployment claims Thursday, advanced GDP, core PCE. I don't know why my filter looks like that. It should have no yellow folders. There we go. Flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. So pretty low, pretty non-existent as far as huge data or big data. Yeah, I've seen that volume on oil. Now, going into this week, we've talked about this last week, and we'll start with futures, of course, looking at ES. And already this evening, I've noticed, and yesterday I noticed as well, that ES was making an extended effort to hold on to his floor, which is over here to our left. That floor is the 6,800 floor, and there is, yes, a retest level underneath us or above us. So again, we are entering this week, as of right now, in between what we need to break and what we need to reclaim. The reclaim level is going to be 6,900, very clear on the 24-hour time frame. Now, moving down, that gets even clearer, right? You are seeing very clear and open refusals of that 6,900 level. And this is, again, by the way, if you guys are watching, tap your screens if you're on TikTok. But that is where we go long, right? And of course, you could look for potential entries inside of this range, and we'll break this down here a little bit further and what it might mean for SPY opening up next or tomorrow, because obviously the first and most logical thing that we could look at with a break, and this is, see, this is right now. Hold on, take a second. Whether you're in futures or you are in options, we'll compare this to SPY, and you can do that obviously tomorrow morning. But this is a no-brainer. Read and react. Let everybody else have their bias, right? Because there's two at the top, there's one at the bottom. You have to, right? And there's obviously a couple bounces off the floor here, but it has to go over 6,900, and when it does, you would have a level at 6,924, and more importantly, and obviously 6,932. That's clear as day. Obviously, we would need to see something on the higher time or on the lower time frame, such as the hourly, like a candle close above 68.83. That would be step one. I would prefer it be above 68.86, but this is where that empty space up above us is more than likely going to get refilled. The faster it fills, the more likely we come back down, right? If we can whip up there without building and see a really nasty rejection, that is where we would be looking for a reversal. Now, with what we have underneath us, you'll notice on the hourly, it's a perfect area to navigate the markets this week. You've got a bounce right off of 68.10. That's the only structure you have between you and your floor of 67.70, right? So downside, not as much, and it would be, in my opinion, preferred to see that wick up and then reverse, or right, it's not like we don't have a signal to the upside, or we're looking at a break over 69.80 up and out. So really Oh shit, my bad. TikTok. You guys gotta let me know, dude. That chart looks like trash. My bad. I did not realize that was off like that. Um, I'm recording this on TikTok, so if you want to go back and look, or YouTube, so you can go back and look at that. It's not live right now, but I'll be posting it as soon as this is over. All right, so that's about it, right? Going into this week for ES, the weekly candle, we talked about this as well. You know, again, you're seeing the potential for a long wick up retest in here, and we cannot, and the market cannot afford any holds of this floor any longer, right? Any sort of reversal or rejection and loss of 68.30, we will be looking for a leg down to that 6,700 area. Yeah. Trying hard to read those. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. So again, really, if you, and honestly, right now, if you go scroll across TikTok, you're going to see a bunch of fucking dorks trading in this range and losing. See, that's something Alex trades or any of these other people, they show up and it's like, what are you trying to prove? Like, it's harder to make money unequivocally. And it's like, why not wait when it's easy? And that's where people are stupid or can be stupid because it's like you're forcing, you know, maybe if you're taking a bounce reversal trade, like that's okay. But off of this, and once it establishes a range, you know the bigger move is coming. So why are you sitting and waiting? So pretty Steve. Um, so anyway, great setup to read and react going into this week. You can make a plan now and react to it come tomorrow morning. All right, now moving over to NQ, we'll see something very, very similar. Obviously, a little bit of a closer level to the upside. This one on the 24-hour time frame, not really established as far as a floor, right? The only thing that I've concluded here is that we're literally chopping in the 50% mark of the candle. That's it, right? So losing the 50% mark of anything is typically going to give you a reversal. We do, however, know that above 2,500, that is where a retest would most likely occur. And if we are short, right, we have a pretty clear short level directly underneath us, below that 24,581 and down to this 24,4 level, right? What's some indicators for liquidity? Why do you need that? See this, well, no offense. You don't need an indicator for liquidity, right? You know that after compression comes contraction or comes expansion, right? This is a simple universal concept that you can apply. Oh, you just joined, Grayson? Welcome, man. I'm excited to have you in class, dude. I think you're gonna like it and profit from it. But I don't need I don't need an indicator to point out when tension breaks or when an area that is controlled by both buyers and sellers, they're going at it back and forth, it breaks. You're looking for, or you're receiving liquidity, or you're getting that liquidity. But that shit is that shit's for the birds. You know what I mean? Like I could never. And again, based on how I'm performing versus and how my students are performing based, you know, versus what we're seeing across the market, I don't need to know that you're not going to get liquidity inside of a box, that you're going to get it when you leave it. It's just that simple. Um, but anyway, yeah, I don't use indicators, so thank you guys for oh my God, Jose. If you guys don't mind tapping your screen if you guys are on TikTok. So anyway, moving down in Q, we are looking for a break over 2,500, right? And it's that simple. You also have a very clear floor here, futures traders, anything under 25,687, and we are looking for, yes, that it looks like the 24.5 level, and I think that gives us our breakdown. Both of these, I just want to make this clear, both of these, whether it's down here first and back up, all are bounce levels. And with the empty space up above us, I obviously need to be certain because this is a great play, both to the upside and the downside. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on. And again, tomorrow morning, be here with us while we go over the ETFs, 8 o'clock or 8 a.m. Eastern time, excuse me. One thing that I can say about this weekend is you've made a lot of attempts to get up. And maybe Tuesday, with the market volume returning, we can go and see that reversal back up. But I don't expect for them to make it easy. And it's what not only that, I don't expect after 2 days, right? Sunday and Monday, and we have not seen a reversal yet. So it's either to Tuesday and then the rest of the market follows, and that could be again a rejection. But I think that if you're patient this week and you're on the right side of this break, there's a lot of money to be made. Um, so looking for a balance this week to the upside. Listen, it's not. Thank you for the follow. It's not me saying we're looking for the upside. We are. What I'm doing right now, right, is marking out where the reversals are going to occur, right, and we're using NQ right now, but it's not. This is where my job is easiest. It is easiest for me to tell. I mean, based on the levels, we have two off the top and two off the bottom, right? So I expect that if we get a break, and day traders are going to have a time because you're going to have to probably secure the majority of your profits here because this is not guaranteed. Again, we'll leave empty space behind, folks. In a bear market, we will leave empty space behind. So you'll wick up, and then if we get sucked back underneath 2,500, I'm short, especially if the median breaks. But again, we don't have to stress about these things. All right. So if you have anything you would like for me to or would like for me to take a look at, please go ahead and drop your request. We are in a bear market, Grayson. Yes. Lower highs. We've returned. Yes, as far as I'm concerned, this is absolutely on the ETFs, on QQQ. We are technically in a bear market. We are close to levels that could change that, and I think that's what's being offered up right now, but nobody's accepting it. So, Vic Turd, thanks, man. You don't want to see me really grind, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I take all that back. Jose, get out of here. Get out of here. That wasn't for you. All right. Anyway, if you guys have anything you would like for me to take a look at, let me know what direction. Let me know what direction you want me to take you're looking at it going. And yeah. Oh, look at my phone, dude. Damn, that was 3 years ago. Me and my shouty, dude. That's all you get. All right. Anyway, my wife is way more beautiful than I am. I just get to bask in it, you know. Okay, so I talked about this last time. What are you looking at here? Um, Dominique, what direction are you looking at for this? Because as far as I'm concerned, if we see a turnover market wise, I mean, this is a perfect candidate to drop. You have a floor at $4. If $4 is lost, I would see I would have a target probably sitting right around 350 and 335. If you're looking to the upside, however, that could be that's a lower time frame read and react scenario where you have a floor that's already been tapped. It's 430, empty space up to that high of 450, and I think at that point you might be able to fill up this empty space, you know, into the 480s. So okay, so you are looking at it to the upside. So I mean, again, you do have a gap down here to fill. This is going to be a pretty important little level that you can potentially bounce off of 388, and well, there is a gap down there actually. That is a gap right there. The gap closes at 382. So you could be looking at a breakdown. And right now with BBAI, I like to go ahead and make like, you know, especially if I want the bigger move, I want to be sure. And it is 477 and above 490 that you would see more than likely a bigger move. So, all right, AZN trying to mark key prices for movement. If this is at all-time highs, I mean, that's you have no key prices. Except, yeah, you're going with the wind on this one, brother. But I can tell you that, let's see, hold on one second. So, okay, what I can do is, again, I can't help you with the upside. I'm always transparent about that. There's no strategy that I have that helps me with this. But I can, and again, this is not really what I usually trade or chart. However, I can show you or should say that 202 is the range floor underneath you, and that is where you would most likely break down. There would be a retest happening at 200, and a loss of 200 would bring you back down into the 194s. So, all right. Am I live on Discord? No, I'm just live here right now. Crank that shit, son. Sorry. How loud is that? Is that last? Is that fucking loud? All right. Is that better? All right. Gang gang. Why do they close the market for these days? Bank holidays. If the banks aren't open, then who's open? Yeah, in the room. What happened to your better TikTok setup? What do you mean my better TikTok setup? People were getting tired of my side of the side view, I guess. Also, yeah, I just switched it up. All right. Yeah, what else do we got here? Drop your request if you have anything else. Let's see. Is ONDS going up? Not until you get above 983, plain and simple. Period. End of story. You do have pockets of empty space up there that could relieve price action and allow some fluidity there. You have a channel here that you were operating in. It might be actually broken. That was a tighter control. Yeah, it would actually. I typically let the control, like, you'll see it recovers itself. So you're not bullish until you're above 984, and then at that point, right, you would have a pretty smooth move back up to 1150. So not a bad setup here. Uh RNW, thank you guys for tapping your screen. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so this is a weekly box, and it looks like you did lose your floor, but you didn't. No, you didn't. Oh my God. I mean, you are looking at a place where price bounces historically quite a bit, and it does look like bullishness returns above 555 on the weekly, which is the strongest level, which would also simultaneously, wait for it, be the 50% mark of the box or of the range. So I would say above 564 on the 24 hour, you're looking at 589, and obviously that's a lot of empty space, and this thing is not a great mover, so definitely an equity play, I would hope. All right. Potter, some account messaging me pretending to be you. Yes, waste their time, troll them, remind them that their families probably don't like them, that they low lives, whatever. Crush their confidence, or say, if you got something dark inside that you need to get it out, and don't do it again. I don't know. Yeah, I will never message you. I will never DM you about anything. I'm fucking terrible about you think I am not personally picking followers. There's too many people obviously for me to just hand message everybody to ask them how their investments are going. So yeah. Potter, when are you gonna make the Discord more affordable for us broke folks? I mean, I feel like with everything that I do um on TikTok, and as much as I show up here live trading, on YouTube and TikTok, there is absolutely ample opportunity for you to make the money to join my Discord, because that is not something that has to happen. It is not a benchmark for your success. You can just simply learn my strategy and implement it in a way that makes sense to you. Um, or trade with us when I am live. And I mean, I've had a lot of people inside of my Discord make the money. Um, I just had a couple of people join this week because they made money with us. So yeah, it's kind of I be motivated. You know, don't be discouraged by it. You could turn, dude. I just had somebody listen. I just had somebody turn 15 or no, what was it, $80 into $4,000 in under 2 weeks, and it's like, dude, if that's more than the workshop, you know what I'm saying? So like, anyway, all right. Um, wait, so that's not asking you about a good time tomorrow night, Nick? I said not to say anything about that. That's fucked up, Nick. We're going to be talking about that later. All right. Thoughts on Alex trades? I don't have any thoughts for him, dude. It just is what it is. He's just a bad dude. Just a bad dude, you know? Not everybody has the will to be a good person, and I just don't think that he has it in him. This is about as clean and clear of a chart as anybody could ever offer you. It's very, very simple. This could be a simple trade. So right now, you got to decide, go look at the contracts. Is this something that you can add to your watch list? Once you get one of these stocks and you say, well, Potter says there's empty space. I see what he's saying. I can see that you dropped underneath $42, which was where your previous resistance was and where you're rejecting off of right now. And so if that is reclaimed, I would only mark out the 50% mark at 43.12, and I'd be looking at a 44.34 target for shorter expiration contracts. And so if that is a little there's a signal for you. I wouldn't implement that channel. And again, it's important to acknowledge what exactly it is that you're bouncing off of. It doesn't look like you've touched a whole lot of volume. You very lightly grazed this area at 37. So if you cannot get above $42, that might be the needed retest. But yes, there is a retest up at let's move that down. Yeah, 43.85 would be the target to the upside. Not a bad setup. I'll set an alert on that one. I'm gonna start setting a lot more alerts, especially on your guys' plays. Tesla up 82.34. That's not good. Yes. What do you mean? It's up $82 right now overnight. Oh God, this is what the fucking worst song I've ever heard in my life. Search up Upwork. I know about them. What is the overnight price on Tesla? Can anybody let me know? What is the yeah? What is that for real? I need to. I obviously would need to know. We West Coast a lot. I'm doing great, man. I'm absolutely awesome. Oh, Netflix. Okay, dude, you got me tripping. All right, so keep dropping your requests, guys. Yeah, don't spam it, but maybe like every 30 seconds, resend it. All right, Netflix. Let's take a look at Netflix. You're looking at it to the upside. Perfectly acceptable reason to be trying to look for this trade. It has a great day trading setup. No arguments there. Right now, just like I just showed you on KMAX, I'm going to show you the same thing. This is how you know when. No, notice I'm not saying think or this is when you know. Over 77.32, you're looking at a retest of 79.28 and $80. Let's look at the 4 hour and see what that looks like. Now, my preference is that it has a box. I like it when it builds first, but as far as structure is concerned, I mean, you're there, right? And this is a nice chunk of volume to have bounced off of. So I do think the Netflix looks good for that day trade potential. I'll watch this tomorrow, adding that one to my watch list for a day trade. So write it down in your notebooks. Netflix. Why do I write like a fucking river troll, dude? Why? They tell me, you know what? They just tell people who write like Neanderthals that it's because they're smart, and then they just never change anything about it. And they're like, look how smart I am. Like, no, you fucking write like a caveman. Netflix slash day trade. All right, anyway. Sorry, hot dog water. Explain praying for the other dude. Where's right now? This Band-Aid. You know, I'll sell it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm joking. All right. So again, what I was repeating is the previous resistance. Typically, when you fall into a range that sellers control, it's that overhead resistance, right? The simple explanation that yes, even the most dumb traders know that support turns into resistance and resistance turns into support. But now that this resistance has turned into support, it's also the same thing that is holding you down. So above 77.24. You're looking up. You're looking up. Pretty simple. So if you drop into the top of a box, it's that top of the box you're going to have to break. All right. Sedge up. I do see pretty fluid price action in. And then your overhead resistance is here, and that's 37.48. So I mean, this seems relatively simple. It's above 37.50. You definitely have empty space. You definitely have a very clear and confluential target above you at 41.87. So I actually don't hate this setup at all. To be exact, on the 24-hour, you have multiple wicks off of $38 basically flat, or 37.93. So translate that down to the lower time frame. But 41, this actually is not a bad setup. It's not a bad setup. You just need to have confirmation. But yeah, this looks pretty good. All right. Will this be on YouTube? Yes, it will be. I want to know if you think Walmart will go higher. Stacy. Stacy. Um, Obviously, with something sitting at all-time highs with no empty space up above it, typically in these scenarios, the way that I'm able to know, or rather see whether there is continuation to the upside, is typically how price performed when it pulled back. And when it did pull back, it bounced back up and created a wall directly at 134.48. Now, with that being said, I would assume that you're going to see tomorrow morning, because if you open up above 134.50, yes, absolutely. If you open up in this range, I would be expecting a pullback. Now, here's how you would kind of want this to go, because if you do pull back below 130.75, you want this to fall fast, because Walmart is notorious for falling really quickly and retesting before it goes back up. And it does and has been doing this now in a relatively heinous fashion. There is lower time frame trend, right? Not a trend line. We don't use fucking trend lines. But there is some sense of control here. But being at all-time highs, I don't really if I'm still holding or looking for continuation, I don't use those. So all right, moving on. So, I mean, again, my strategy does not help me in order to trade something into all-time highs, because I rely on structure, right? I rely on past price action to help guide me. And I do that quite well. So I've never really needed to navigate all-time highs. But anyway, uh, uh, is in contraction waiting. What does this say? What is the contraction waiting? Clone the blocks at all-time highs. Yeah, you that's a measured move at all-time highs. Funny enough, if you double the box and then line that up with, that's why I say Fibonacci's, because Fibonacci will line up exactly with that. It literally, it will line up almost dead slap center. If you double that box, stack it on top of each other, and then throw your fibs up, you'll see alignment. But again, I don't trade into all-time highs. Do I trade supply and demand? No, I do not. Supply and demand is not a strategy. It's an observation. But acting on supply and demand, right? You could try to build a strategy off of that. I do not use supply and demand. And I never really used or dedicated much time in my career to trying to learn how to use supply and demand. It seemed pretty fucking simple to me, bounce that support, right? But what has been better than supply and demand, because a lot of traders who use the daily time frame without 24-hour extended time frames, they don't see the same levels that I do. So it just looks like a fucking zone to them, but to me it's typically the bottom of a 24-hour candle, and it's been working now for years. So all right, keep dropping your requests. Meta, but what direction? Let me know which direction. UPS longs, por favor. Okay. Yucky. Okay, so when we're at an area of high decision making, or let's just say a weekly area of consolidation, you've hit the 50% mark, I am in pure observation mode, or it's the lower time frame. And so far, right, with the 24-hour showing that resistance is present, you're going to have to be paying attention, right, on this low. Damn, what the fuck is happening right now? Um, I think four people just joined the Discord or something. Cool. Make sure to message me whenever you get into the Discord. Let me know where you came from. Let me know how you found me. Whatever you think is relevant information, just shoot me a DM. I don't always respond to them, but I do read them, so that way I have like an idea of who the hell I'm talking to. Maybe all four had an epiphany. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, you just joined Kanito? Hell yeah. Hachikoto. Hachikoto coin. You know, I'm okay on that one, brother. I think. Thank you, though. All right. So here's how I would do this, my guy. Take the bottom of this candle. Oh my God. Why is this system, dude? My system blows me away sometimes. That is your 24-hour time frame. So now we can go to the 30-minute. Now we can go to the 5-minute. Ooh, and now we can go to the 3-minute. Actually, yeah. That's empty space all the way up to the top. So it's just this tiny little node of volume right there that you're going to need to break through. It doesn't look bad. Spartan, is that discord.com? But no, it's potterstockstrading.com. But make sure you do have, if you don't receive the workshop whenever you get it, be sure to DM Ivy, Alex, or myself inside of the free Discord. We had somebody like file dispute because he bought it and he didn't get it. So if you just let me know. Obviously, my assistants aren't always present. I have two assistants, but obviously they're humans too. All right, let's see. Keep dropping the request, guys. I'm making my way through it. Do you hold monthly options? Yeah, for sure. The chart says yeah, absolutely. Nvidia, uh, Nvidia, please. Which direction? I do see some more continuation. You said upside. Hold on, Jesse. Um, so really quickly, again with Nvidia, I'm looking at this from a weekly perspective, and if you're looking at Nvidia, the only thing that's going to make this worth your while is the bigger move, right? The bigger fucking move. And what you will notice is this previous resistance right here that held us back before on Nvidia is actually the dead slap center of this range. You've got a multiple. I'm actually tempted to take a short out on this one because every single bounce, every single pocket of volume that you've had underneath you has failed to send this back up. And perhaps that we can hold 180, 160 this week. But the overall sentiment here for me is starting to very much flip bearishly. And underneath our low from last week, I feel very strongly that there's not only just a bigger move, but there could be, maybe even a drop from the highs back into reality. And so, again, this is a lot needs to happen. I'm not calling for this short yet, but what is underneath you or what is in the most recent price action is not looking good. And there's really only one level that you broke to get here, and that's 180, 167. That separates you from a drop down into this old range, and that's going to be 177.85, and that's really the ticket. for us to get down. But I think that when Nvidia falls and we see the whole market is going, you're going to see everything move down if Nvidia does as well. So, um, why was there a failed punchback on car? That's not a failed punchback. That is absolutely not a failed punchback, right? So, what is the definition of the Potter box, right? Of a punchback. A punchback is a move through the 50% mark. And what is guaranteed is the next new high. You are guaranteed that whatever resistance is in front of you, you're going to go shoot to it. And the only resistance that you had in front of you and green candle to your left was 68 and 68.40. And that was the previous floor, and it's not necessarily failed quite yet. Now underneath this 64.39, yes, that's a failure. But but it's not a failed punchback. Like it's not. That did go reach a new high. So I'm going to take that box, right? And that box doesn't lead directly into empty space until this floor is reclaimed. So by us tapping that and then getting pulled back in, that's where we get out of the trade. If you return back to where you opened up at or where you broke out at, that's typically where we get out. But that is the way the cookie crumbles sometimes if your next new high is very close up above you, which is why there is a preference, sometimes for me to take things when floors have been recovered, because the punchback, again, needs to be leading directly into empty space. No questions. So that's attention to detail. We got to have attention to detail. So QQQ puts a month out. I already am. I'm not a month out though. I'm only a week out. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Putter Stocks Workshop, that discount is gone tonight, I believe. Yeah, tonight. All right, let's take a look at Rivian. You have some runners. Do I think it goes up more? So with this candle close, we didn't successfully leave 18. We did successfully, however, crush and tap that open at 1850, which is a imperative level for me, because it is technically the end of our most recent price actions in empty space. And so there's a couple things that need to happen for me. I need to see 1891 reclaimed. That is the floor up above us. That is the 50% mark of this range. And so $19 basically, and then we're looking at a $20 1990 target above us. So for now it does still look positive, but this is a major rejection point and has been before many times. So if this doesn't go higher, I would not be surprised actually. So fast for Ramadan, brother. I fast kind of all the time. I've been intermittent fasting since I was in like middle school. All right. Oh, you want to go short on this one? Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. 588 is the put strike that I have. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. So I can't argue with you. Yes, it has been ripping, and again, nothing on the higher time frame here really tells me anything. The 24-hour though, I can't. So this is actually where I can help out a lot, right? It's actually here. Like you have a floor right now at like 31.30, but it is underneath that $31 that you could start looking for that short. Now, as per usual, this is going to line up, and it does actually kind of look like you could be making new highs. So here's the deal. You have a couple ways to deal with this. If this is above the box and goes up, it would be a drop down back underneath 31.50 is where we would be looking for that punch down. But right now, if you're looking short, it's that range and a break of $30.98 on the 4-hour time frame. You could start this short at the floor with probably like a 31.35 stop loss. And I would be looking, again, if you can punch through this box, which will be tough, I'd be looking for a roll down to 30.50. first. Homie only gives signals. I mean, you know what's crazy is like I say no signals, but I'm giving you something better, a fucking blueprint of how and what needs to happen. You know, which I think is way better than me just or somebody just saying buy this and then you're left fucking clueless when it's going the other way. All right. Anyway, Google and oh, I've done spy. Just wait for the morning. ASF. What does that mean? Is that a young person thing? Can I buy your hat? I have lots of hats for sale on my website. But I'm about to. I don't want. I don't know if I want to send them out. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a drop shipper. I've learned this about myself. I've learned this about me. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna join my own live from my other profile. So if you are new, this person who is joining, that's actually me. It's actually me. Oh shit. I need to you guys let me know if this you can't see shit. My bad. There we go. Last hats came with his cologne. Highly recommend. Nah, that's crazy. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. I appreciate you. All right, what do we got next? I'm going to. I will not take the request if you don't tell me up or down. You got to let me know which direction you're looking at it, or I don't know how to help you. Thank you for the UNH call last month. You were right. I I think I think so. I can't remember half the analysis that I give because I do about 9 million requests a day. Not really, but there we go. All right. Looks like futures filled up their empty space and are reversing right now. Interesting. Oh my God. He's always right, like the strat. That's on God, dude. All right, so let's take a look at this one. I believe you said up on this one. Upside. Okay. Oh no. Get this out of here, dude. Get this song out of here. I hate this song so bad, dude. All right, there we go. All right, so to the upside, that's not looking great. Empty space does look like there's technically more up there to like 88.80. However, it's never great when you reach up and are unable to grab hold of anything. And it was, yeah. So you haven't lost anything. I guess that's the benefit here is you have not lost technically anything. You're still holding your floor and you did bounce off a cost basis. So step one is going to be getting above 80.65, period. And very clearly 81.45. I mean, just a 4-hour candle close in or around that, or lower time frame even, I would assume would work out pretty well. Yeah. So that would be how you get up and out of here. I mean, and again, as far as empty space to the upside, I can't really call that one because it doesn't have it, but there is an overhead resistance sitting at 88.60. So gold filling empty space to the downside right now. Watch the stream numbers are going to fly up now that I'm looking at gold. Dude, I can't help it. Oh my God, what a rejection. What a rejection. And I know there's about 1,000 dorks in this world right now drawing this. Now they're only drawing a fucking trend line right now. Thousands of them are doing it. But what's really underneath you? Is there any real volume? So this is the shit thing about gold. Look at this. So that's a box that you punch through. So the next leg down, and again, you're moving pretty quickly right now, but the next leg down would be 48.80. And then this right here. Oh boy, that's the fucking juice right there. That's 48.27, and that's where things get, I think, get heated. And you'll see a 4600. Yeah, but that's that yeah, gold's looking pretty interesting right now. I can't lie to you. Ooh, that's bright. Or, yeah, that's bright. Alrighty, let's take a look at it. UNH to the upside. Not bad, right? Floor got reclaimed. Cost basis, 50% mark, not cost basis, has been broken. Lower time frame box right here. You're paused there, so it is 249.70 that you're looking for a break and reclaim at the floor to your left for a first target of 302.77 and 305. So this is obviously something we need to be looking at in the morning. You need to be marking out those retest levels. There's a retest level underneath you at 290.50. If you do fall, you want to fall fast and hit that level pretty cleanly. It does look like 240 on the 5 minute. It is 240, 291.44. Sorry. All right, let's see here. Your hat is badass is from your merch. Yeah, it's from my merch. Yeah. Don't make me pack any more orders. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Order away. I got hoodies and shirts. All right, let's see here. What do we got next? I'm going. I know you guys are getting tired of dropping the same request, but I'm trying to go through these USAR long over 23 cost basis. Um, is the Q's? I didn't see a punchback on the Q's. I think that one might be mislabeled, but what are you doing? You said you want $23 cost basis, which has got to be you looking at this box, right? No, that's you're looking above you. 23. There's no box there. That's not a box. There is so just to be 100% clear, sometimes there is no box. And that is something that we have to know, right? There might be a range and there may be a box, or there was boxes, right? So there was a box here. You shot up and you punched down through it. You reused that same box. But it doesn't appear that you have really, and you could say, if anything, right? That would be the new level up above you. So if USAR does go back up, I would assume safely that above $20, you'll see a $20 and $73 retest. Now, underneath you, you got a clear fucking box. And that's 1842 and 1730. It was just to be a man. All right, let's see here. Hmm. I mean, this seems pretty straightforward, right? We You built a box around cost basis, tapped the floor, so it's over 70K basically. I mean, 70, you flirted with 70. Did not tap your highs. So I mean, yeah, I would actually say that's another lower time frame box down below. So uh whoever just joined, whoever just joined, shoot me a DM. How'd you find me? Why are you here? Where you been? What's your favorite color? You don't have to send that. What are you wearing? I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Just joking. Look at, I got a new mic stand, guys. I felt It was my best option for both broadcasting my voice and home defense. Who wants to get hit in the mouth with a Shure mic? I'm sure it would hurt. All right, we got to get off. All right. Anyway, wearing nothing? Hey, yo, get him out of here. Drago! You know, so I see you in Mad Lives. Found you on TikTok, still learning, considering your class after I learn more. Of course, Jessica. I'm here. And you can always again go to my YouTube channel, go through those videos as well. There's a lot of information on there you can benefit from as well. So, all right, let's fuck it up. What else do we got? I'm gonna speed it up here. PayPal to the upside. I can't. I already know what this setup looks like. I have it somehow in the back of my mind. Yes, you are building a box or range. You do have a good bounce and floor off of $39. And you do have a good little channel here with empty space on the 4 hour. Not bad. Over $40.50. Second target's 41. Third target's 41.40. Obviously, this is traveling inside of this tightly packed channel, so I mean it makes sense. 41.50 would be your most straightforward target, or 41.38. Of course, if continuation is to be had, we're gonna have to break this down on a lower time frame. So you have a range over to your left and a range only. We cannot call it anything other than what it is. That is a range. But it does give us a floor at 41.70 that must be reclaimed. So I see a pretty damn good day trade here, or yeah, day trade. Nah, yeah, day trade because that's I mean that's not worth it anywhere else. Um, but yeah, it's not bad. There we go. Potter slaps. Good teacher. Workshop is flames. I do be going crazy on the workshops for sure. You know, the only thing that could make this live a little bit better is if Alex Trades will show up. I miss him. Sorry. Sometimes I'm a little shit too, you know. Silver to the upside. So I'd be watching futures here, obviously, but this one has a downwards trajectory at the moment, which of course we still see bullishness during a bull market, or excuse me, a bear market. Now, again, the first thing that I'm typically doing is looking for what needs to be reclaimed, and I think the very clear and obvious level here is, of course, 71.77. So right now, I know that metals are moving down, right, and you do have a gap. You don't even really have a floor. You have just a fucking nasty gap to 63.71. So you could assume that below that 67.60, you're looking down. But it is, I mean, it is verifiably above 71.77. And you have a clear day trading target of 74.48. Anything above that, right? We could be looking at a reversal. But that would be a couple things need to happen before that does. He's too busy brutalizing his. Ooh, ooh. Here you come now. That's fucking crazy. All right, let's see what we got. Meta downside. Oh, baby, don't call me no more. Oh, that seems pretty damn simple, right? Floor. Call me no more. So this is simple enough. It's just meta, so you're gonna have to fight. But oh no. Why is futures so hard? Um, Probably, I mean, I don't think it's hard. I think the way that the masses teach people make it way harder. I think when you show up matters. But I also think having and mastering a strategy, starting with the slowest time frame and the longest form of it, will help you refine your strategy and how you trade it because you're trading in slow motion when you're using options. Most in people in my Discord who are getting payouts started with options, built the capital using, again, you don't have to use more, you could use 50 to $100. um and you're really, again, trading with the purpose of refining and perfecting uh your ability to spot a good setup. And then at that point you can speed it up. And I think that that's in that listen, so just really quickly, I did the same thing as everybody else. I started with day trading. I fucking got my ass handed to me, and it was those every once in a while I would win, and honestly, that win would keep me attached to some shit that just I was not really proficient at. And so when told myself I had taken a couple of swing trades, and they worked out really really well. And it was kind of consistent. I was like, okay, well, this is way easier for me to see because it's not moving on the 5 minute. It's not ripping in my face. It's closing, and I'm taking the trade at the end of the day. And this did me a lot of good because it again allowed for me to slow the whole process down and make money. But it wasn't until I started managing my trades beyond the bell that I was actually able to start being more proficient at the lower time frames. So prop firms are something that you have to earn. Because again, imagine not having a strategy or not being good at it, and then someone telling you to follow a bunch of fucking unrealistic rules. Like if you're good at your strategy, there's obviously people in my Discord who are doing it. It's not impossible, but you got like that's the hardest part, man, about being a teacher. It's like everybody wants to get to the money, and I get that, and it's good to be motivated, but you got to get to the strategy first. Your mind is all fucked up. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants money. And everybody wanting money makes people do a lot of funny shit. But not everybody wants a fucking strategy. Not everybody like that for a lot of people that's too much. I don't think or they will tell themselves stupid shit like, "Oh, I'm too stupid." That is one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say I'm too stupid or I'm too slow or I have this kind of brain. It's like, no, pipe down, shut up. The whole reason that you feel that way is because you keep telling yourself that. Stop telling yourself you're retarded or stupid, and then maybe you can do it. Albert Finance Crypto Club. How does it feel to be a terrible person when you wake up in the morning? I mean, just the worst kind of a human being possible. And that's you, Albert. And I mean, with a name like Albert, dude, you should be doing some really prestigious shit, if that's even your name. But just a diabolical way to live your life, man. Learn how you can earn on day trading. On day trading is actually crazy, Albert. They keep banning me for 10 minutes because, yeah, they got me for bullying. They got me for bullying. I did Netflix. Yeah, just yeah, it'll be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. All right, keep it pushing, guys. So real quick, for Meta, any sort of downside move is going to happen under 634 or Friday's low. You do have a floor underneath you or above you that is looking to possibly be reclaimed, and that's a 646. Again, a lot of overhead pressure, and you are definitely bearish with candles staying and sticking underneath 675. Period. End of story. Now, downside targets on Meta will be subject, but not limited to, your first target of 627.44, 621.30, and lastly 615 would be another target underneath you. At that point, there's a gap to fill there as well, and a small box that will serve as a trigger for us to potentially continue falling. But everything is aligned That's the pocket. So it's a good trade down for sure. I could also say again, keep your wits about you, because if you do end up breaking up above this structure, folks, there's a day trade, because there's going to be a lot of listen, during a bear market, okay, real quick, during a bear market, the playing the upside is awesome, because everything traps people, and it does it by ripping really quickly to the upside. So bull traps can actually just be fucking, bull euphoria. But if you do end up seeing a break through both of these ranges and outside of 651.66, and I'm actually going to set an alert on that now, right here at 646.50, because I would take that for a day trade up to that target and that target, 670.50. Meta, yeah, the risk to reward does look great. It actually looks great on both sides. Day trade up, swing trade down. I'll be on TikTok tomorrow morning, yes. Be sure to tap the screen and go crazy right now, because TikTok just gave me a ban again. All right. Anyway, Meta, Costco. Well, I need a direction. Please let me know what direction you are looking at. Upside, downside, bull, upside. Not bad, but 24-hour wick yesterday, not or on Friday, was not really my favorite thing in the world. You didn't really tap that candle, so it's still 580 that could still be retested. But here's the deal: that green candle over here at 624 on the lower time frame must be reclaimed for us to see continuation of the downside. Our best hope right now is that we build inside of this range. Boom, kind of like this, right? A little bit of down, and then you get up. So it's not, listen, it's a good setup. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bull on the way back up on the 24-hour time frame up to set that's a great setup. That's a great setup. Is it triggered now? No, absolutely not. But it is actually something that I have interest in as far as equity is concerned. TikTok's just bugged out. What happened? Yeah, again, March 1st is class. March 1st is class, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to take about a week. That little profile over here, that is my other one. The only other one that I have. Yes, we are in a bear market. Wish I could do the class, but I work during the week and get off at 11 p.m. It's all recorded, Sanchez family. It's all pre-recorded, and you can, while you're watching it, post your questions in a specific channel for them to be answered in the following class. Um, is this considered math rock? Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. My friend told me to buy Webull shares at 14. It will pay off, I think. Absolutely, I think it'll pay off one day. But that day is not today. Um, and there's listen, with I mean, dude, go look at fucking Hood. They don't ever make it easy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it could be like a fucking decade, but I mean, this was 2022, and then at the end of 2024, we finally, so like, there's great potential, for sure. Hood has a good retest target of 102. Holy shit, that looks pretty juicy. Good day. Damn, that's a good setup. Yeah, that's a good little setup. Look at that. Right up in there. It kind of looks like PayPal to me. which I don't like, but I'll set an alert on that one. Just follow new to trading, looking forward to learning. Sila, am I pronouncing that right? Um, while you're not watching this, and because I'm going to be saying a lot of shit that does not make any sense to you or to anybody else if you're new to this, and so I would highly recommend going to my YouTube channel and writing everything down. And I know people think that I don't mean that when I say that. Like, seriously, write down your questions while you're watching it. And then when you see my live streams pop up or you're in the Discord, you can ask me those questions and I will answer you. Which is another reason why I say if you can't afford any of the workshop or anything like that, you don't have to. You might have to put a little bit more work, but trust me, it's worth it. Pepsi down. Why you bust in here like that? Red alert. Red alert. My wife has. Oh, I'm kidding. Yeah. Come get your cat. What videos do you recommend I watch? I have all of them in a playlist, educational playlist. She's gonna beat me. Guys. I would treat you better. All right, Jose, you better calm down, dude. I mean, this isn't a bad short setup. Obviously, we need to know that it's below the floor, and typically you're always going to find a floor shortly underneath you, or just, right underneath you. I'd say 160, 250, and you could shoot your shot on that one to 156. Blink twice if you need help. Why are you getting the super glue out, Peyton? Are you gonna glue my eyes open? No, he's right where he wants to be. He said he's right where he wants to be. I like being in trouble, you know? I like it. Sometimes I wish we doing bad shit on purpose, you know? I was kidding. I already went over this one. It looks great over $38. Looks great over the 30. Yeah, looks great. Whoa. Wolf? Are you looking at Wolf or Wolf upside? You know what? That is surprisingly uh I mean, you do have all of that empty space filled up, so it's going to be difficult, but I mean, step one is always going to be recovering the floor, and that you're trying. Not maybe super successfully. Let's look at the weekly. So there's no box, but there is a range. And then when you get to the 24-hour, again, no box. And that makes my life a little bit more difficult, but let's look at the 4-hour. So I do see opportunity up to 25.85, and it's those pockets of or lack of resistance that usually will kind of help me spot this. There's a perfect trigger and floor. So I got this F shoot. Yeah, we can set this one up pretty well. Um Time. What song is this? Daft Punk, Instant Crush. It's a little loud though, isn't it? All right. So first things first on Woof, and I'm looking down here on a lower time frame. You need to get $19 knocked out, and you need a candle close outside of 1850. That's funny. SNDK. This one's listen. This is beautiful. There's no effort. This is a effort. This is where you guys have to. If you know my system, you have to feel lucky, right? Because I actually get like high off of it. I mean, like, dude, it makes me feel stoked because it's like you can't get me. You can't get me. You already tapped off a cost basis 586.56. You're still candle close above 611. You are still below what you need to reclaim at 665, and you are just simply going to react off of that, and that's it. Whatever happens in between here, let it happen. But if you're looking for the bigger move, which I would say right now you could be maybe, I mean, honestly, you could just be unbiased. I mean, there's definitely some potential downside, right? But you could just be right and react between, I mean, to either one of those triggers. It's a great setup. It's a great setup. It just isn't ready. And these are the type of setups that you put on the back burner. You set alerts everywhere, and you have a great setup to come back to. So, okay, Wolf is holding. Lots of wolves. No barks though, because this one just sitting up at the highs, struggling, still holding everything it needs to hold. So don't give up on it. If you have a longer expiration, you could still be in a good space. You got lots of empty space. I mean, maybe it's something even I will take a look at because the first target is going to be 2032, and then the second target would be a smooth. I would look at 2440. But this is the type of price action that will kind of fake people out or get people out, and maybe rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, you're looking for a break over that wick, that a lower time frame. I would say a green candle close about $17, and you could start that trade. And then it's also a good setup to the downside potentially with a pullback into 1435 if that floor at 1523 fails. All right. All right, let's see here. Fastly up. I mean, I would see this is where you kind of have to sister in some of these like older levels, maybe even weekly levels. About them apples, huh? Oh, sorry. My wife's for real life trolling me right now. Okay, so it makes sense. It makes sense why you would hit this and why that would stop you. Now, what's directly up above you? Nothing. There is only 1975 and $22. $20 flat actually is your candle close. So I mean, I Drago, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. You know, again, this is something that I typically never go after. When the faster it rips, typically, you know, and not only that, but the faster it rips, and then it's not able to reclaim anything. You know, these are things that I kind of stay away from because I mean that's a massive weekly move that might need a retest first. But with that being said, continuation, if this does squeeze out, is above on the weekly night, basically $20. It's $20, period, end of story. Does she, does she just sit and watch you? No, she likes to bust open my door like she's a part of a SWAT team. Not like bust open. She'll like open the door really quickly because scare me. She says it's just to keep me on my toes. Apple calls. Oh my god. That weekly candle is rough. So everything that was supposed to hold you up has failed. That failed, that failed, and that is where you're at right now. I really don't know if I could call for this any sort of upside in the middle of what looks to be a punch down and with a play to 250.75. But if something else happens and you are looking for an upside trade, this is not hard. You have a range. You have 260.16, you have 261.89, and that's where you'd be looking for a leg up and into that empty space up above you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't look bad. It does not look bad. Hold on a second. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Listen, when your wife asks you for a horchata, you better get it. Okay, just a word of advice to anybody out there getting married: don't play games. All right. I just need this. Okay, I'm good. Can I say those Jordans in the back are fire? Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. You know what else I thought was kind of funny? You can't really see it, but there's a Radiohead album behind those Jordans, and it's like the same color scheme. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see here. What do we got next? CRSR Corsair Gaming. No shit. I haven't really. Oof. Yikes. So real lack of empty space on this one, but you do have a major floor recovered. Now, one thing I can tell you about having traded Corsair before, it's a fucking nightmare until it picks a direction. And even then, right, you might get a couple weeks of, and it was over here, but you have not seen anything like that since last year in December. So in order for anything of that nature to happen again, it's got to start with a candle on top of and let's double check this on the 24-hour. See this, it thrown all about. And I'm not sure exactly what the catalyst would be here. But you even failed to recover 734. Just doom scrolled on your shit. Let's just see how this journey goes. Let's fucking go. Let's go, dude. Good 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 place to end up, dude. Ask me questions. I do not hold anything back about my strategy. Everybody talking about this one might be late. Everybody's talking about it. Dude, I mean, it does capture the interest of retail every once in a while here. So, I mean, this might be one of those anomalies here where, I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't have more. I would say $8 is your next major level. And it seems like the weekly is just a better place to reclaim. Nick, did you want to join or something? You requested to join. Did you want to hop up here? or something. All right, let's see here. All-time highs, my friends. This is one of those setups where, again, what do you have to go off of? The only thing that you can really do is create protection programs and establish where price cannot retrace or where something could not end up returning. Again, when we look at this, that would be all the way down here. But when you're at all-time highs, I have virtually no edge, which is fine by me because, again, 80 to 90% of stocks never hold their highs. So eventually it all comes back down into my playing field. But I don't typically trade stocks into all-time highs. But with that being said, it looks like Nextera could have some structure boxes set up below it to aid you in making sure that you stay where you need to stay. First part of that would be here. And so you'd have a 92, 91 retest if you did fall under that 93.44. Do you bother your wife while she's working, or does she not work? Oh yeah, I bother her all the time. Yeah. She's a fashion designer, and she, like, right now she spent, like, I mean, a ridiculous amount of time beating a hand beating this corset skirt that she's making. Um and she shows me everything that she buys when she, so I mean, but yeah, she'll be up there and I'll sneak in there and scare. I usually surprise her with food, but that's because I'm hungry. My name is Jeff. Is it Jeff? I don't know. Is it? All right. APP. What direction, Sultan? Yo, thank you for the gifts, dude. Do you try the outfits on? No. Nah. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hmm. Interesting. How much profit are we taking in a day? I mean, sometimes I used to snipe on Modern Warfare too. Every once in a while, yeah. Um, every day is different, my guy. Some days I don't trade at all because there's no setups. I'm not one of those thirsty ass day traders that shows up every single day like I'm in a feeding trough expecting to get fed. I know when they're filling it up with good shit or when it's going to be that same old, when I'm going to be eating my fellow. Never mind. That one seems like a clear retest of 408.64. However, that previous resistance that you had over here to your left seems like it's basically behaving in the same fashion. So you might need a little pullback into that structure, but I think you got a pretty clear retest here of 408.64 and then 421.72. Um, I mean, this is actually one that, could be worth it on the higher time frame, just playing the range. I mean, there's money to be made if you were to play this from the bottom, basically, yeah, up above for that 421 area and then up to that 485. I mean, that's a huge move. But also, it is kind of encoded here. So, season 2 of Battlefield tomorrow? No way. Oh, man. Now I can hop off of Fallout because I got sucked in again. IGV is tech sector. I think it bottomed. Let's check a look. So that wick is really interesting. The wick that you have right there at 87. But I, wow, that's not much of a bottom though, because most, if not all, of the price response is coming off of 77, and I don't like it when you bounce too soon. Which again, whatever. If I don't like it, who cares? But what needs so again, opinions off the table. What needs to happen here for this to bottom out and go up? Because I absolutely see an opportunity outside of that 86 up into 88.50 and of course 89.60, and there's definitely more price that could be very easily recovered. But how does this happen? And I think I spot it right here. So I think there's a great setup, and a lot of the market actually looks like this. PayPal looks like this. We wrote down a couple of others that look like this. There's also a pretty perfect channel in place here, which a lot of the time, sometimes you'll price yourself in by building in here and then popping up, so that way you have enough empty space to go through. But the reality is here is you have a pretty sweet day trade up to $85. But if we're over 86, you could definitely and most obviously be looking up towards, depending on where this is targeting, 50% of that empty space would be 88. If you take longer to get up here, or if you do something along the lines of this, then it very easily could be 88.50. So, Netflix right now, um, yeah, Netflix, fuck, I forgot to write down the other one. Meta had another one for a good day trade, or downside, actually. Meta is another one that I have. I don't know why that wrote that over there. Yeah, trading tool is here. Want this AI to 2026. All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna get banned again. Dude, if your trading tool was that good, you wouldn't be trying to shove it up everybody's ass in here. Just tell everybody you're broke. Start a GoFundMe. Be honest. Stop shilling bullshit to take advantage of people who are just trying to make money on their own. Go fuck yourself. It feels so good. It feels good though. You know what I mean? Like I'm waiting on the ban right now, but like it feels good. TikTok, it feels good. It feels good. You won't do it. You won't do it, TikTok mods or Israel. Netanyahu. This goy on goy crime cannot continue. Welcome to goy slop trading, boys and girls. Back on track. Anyway, better for the third account. Chief Goy. Netanyahu, please. I'm just a little goy. Just trying to show the other goys the candles. Yeah, imminent at target to the downside on Google is going to be 299.66. I'm pretty confident in that one at the moment. Overhead pressure is redonkulous. Weekly setup looks heavy. And honestly could probably be 292 down there as well. Goitism. I do have the goitism. What's up, Nate? Chef Goyardies. BB coming with the drone strike? Nah, we good. What's that light in the sky, though? It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. We building the Golden Dome. It's too late for that, man. You know what could really listen? Never mind. I can't say it. But if a lot of tourists that were goys went to Israel and they just went and touched a bunch of countertops that were supposed to be kosher, I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, get all of our goy germs everywhere. That'd be goy ridiculous. All right. Anyway, gotta calm down. Golden Dome was my nickname in prison. Let's get this guy out of here. Get on out of here. All right. Have I looked at Tesla? I have. I want to short it so bad. I want to short it so bad. Um, it's heavy. Heavy is the burden. But boy, I tell you what, if you want to go for a real rip ass, or if you're looking in chapter 6, 7 of your PBS notebooks, rip dick is another technical term that we use here. Um, but if you want that to happen, you would kind of want Tesla to go and test that 367.20. Good goifus. All right. So her is that a Potter box 28? Let's see, 219. Oh, I can't see them on the weekly. I was like, it is creating a box for show. But I would say that the lower time frame, yeah. So we're establishing, yes, a higher time frame range that completely falls apart as soon as you get onto this time frame. But on the 24 hour, I would call this a range, right? Range is a range. So the 50% mark would still be very important, but the floor here would be 206. Man, what a wick. I mean, that's ridiculous. Now, this, is a box. Perfect rotations. That's a box. My first grader looked at me and was stunned because you said 6, 7. I'll show him the camera. 6, 7. Do it with me, kid. 6, 7. If you do this for your dad for the next 25 minutes, he'll make lots of money tomorrow. And he'll take you to Disney World. I'm sorry. Just joking. Nah, he'll forget by tomorrow. My kids troll me about Disney World all the time. They'll be like, "Dad, if we help you clean, can we go to Disney World?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah." And I'll look at him and be like, "Oh yeah, we can go to Disney World." Car or new car? Car needs to build. Going long on Goy? Yeah, that's a I don't know, I would short Goy. Right now, short the Goys. 2CNNF if you don't mind. True Leaf? True Belief? Wow. They did that one. That's a good ass that's good branding. True Leaf. Like, is that a double entendre? You got a true leaf, like a pot leaf, but then you have belief. I don't know. That's pretty good. Now, analysis wise, you're cooked. There is a floor here that if lost on the weekly, which is 624, you will be looking to the downside. You will be looking to the downside. Is Goy a ticker? I don't know. Goifus. Yeah, it's any renewable in one index, it's any renewable non-biomass go future. Um, but that's about it. Oh, I do not use Top Step. Goy coin. The Goyim USD, it's in a heavy area of consolidation. That's interesting. I wonder who owns this coin. When did it start? February of 20. They just came out with this coin. And they rugged it. And they rugged it again. Oh my god. The Goy coin rugging. That's crazy, man. Anyway. Listen, I love Dr. Pepper. Looks great. It's building where it needs to build, bounced off what it needs to bounce off of. It just needs to clear the wick at $30 and we're fucking off. And it's a great setup. It's a fucking great setup. And I really think that we're looking at this channel, which just it's right there. It's oh, I can feel it. I can crack. I can just feel the Dr. Pepper running down the back of my neck right now, dude. 3165. All right. It's the bubbles. Yeah. Cool beans. Yeah, where the fuck does that come from? Because cold beans are gross. You ever had some cold beans? Or even chilled beans? Gross. All right. 23 mysterious flavors. DP. What's DP? That's not a. What is that? AMD long? So I like this setup too. I said this before. I love the setup. And it's not like you can't right now set alerts all over 210. Set an alert there. I would set maybe alert at 214. Cool beans from the Adians. Bean salad? Dumb question. So if it hits the target, you enter the trade for it to go up? Yeah, if it no, it's not a dumb question. If so like for AMD, right? I would be down here. If price was in the face of 214.43, I have the choice obviously before that happens at 210.50 to try to enter a position, but especially as we get like higher time frame candle closes above where the other closes are, like 216, but absolutely outside of that 219.67, we would have a small area of flack at 221.80 to get through, but you would be looking for a trade up to 230 and to 237. For KDP, would you enter for that one? I'm gonna be honest with you. If you can low risk, high reward contracts on that one, you would expiration wise, you could be entering this one on Monday, outside of $30 or outside of 30.11. As that candle starts to travel up towards there, you want to set a stop loss basically on this floor of, I would just say 29.68 would be a good floor to stop out at. So. All right, let's what a percentage of my account do I risk on a trade? So I trade on an $80,000 account every month. Every month I withdraw whatever profits. If I feel like typically around 15 to 20K, I'll withdraw those profits early if I hit that mark before the month's end. And so when I'm risking or what I risk per trade is typically around 1800 to 2600 per. There's a lot of speculative setups that I'll take here and there. And I don't put, I might put 400 or $500 in there, but typically I'm entering with about a $1,500 to $2,500 position on average. It all does end up weighing on risk to reward and expiration. If the contracts are more expensive, I may spend less and just, you know, be on the lower end of that risk. But yeah, day trades, quicker things like that. I don't put my full risk into that stuff. Typically, the longer the expiration, the heavier I'll go. Like for example, on the short that I took, I actually went over my. I won't say over my risk. I just took more risk on 588 puts the first time that, or excuse me, 590 puts the first time I took them. You know, that was a $5,000 position. So Um, but yeah, if I make a box on the 4 hour and it looks good, but on a lower time frame, it doesn't make a box anymore. It's not a box, or do I need adjusted box? So you separate it, right? So for a 4 hour box, you're looking for a 4 hour candle to confirm that. But if something changes on a lower time frame, you move down into the lower time. But I just joined the 6 months Discord server and I got kicked out. Oh shit! Someone found me on Reddit. Oh shit, that's cool. Hold on. Whoever just who said that? Somebody said that they got kicked out. This one. All right. You have even try futures top steps? Yeah. Didn't you say you had a viral post on Reddit? I did, but that was years ago. It was Reddit. Yeah, I went viral on Reddit for a little while. I called GameStop out about a week before Roaring Kitty did, but I was not calling for a massive run up like that or a short squeeze. It was just off the PlayStation news. I have proof of that, by the way. Good evening, sir. How's everything? Kids are great, man. Kids are doing good. They had a 4 day weekend, so we got to kick it with them. No, they're not sick anymore, so that's amazing. Yeah, everything's Gucci, man. Hope you're doing well. Potter, if you're still looking at tickers, would I look at AGLM? Sure. What direction are you looking at on this one? Did I already? Wow. So it appeared the same floor that you struggled to hold before is the same floor that you're trying to fight with now to get up and out. And I can tell you right now, looking at the lower time frame, you're going to find a box over here to your left. There it is. See the box? That's your ticket. So above $44, you have a target overhead of 45.50, and depending on how you respond to that one, 48 could be the next target overhead. Again, looking at this from a 24-hour time frame perspective, you're struggling at the floor. So if you fail to grab onto that, this could be a rejection play. Did you predict game with the Potter box or just based off of PlayStation news? I was just expecting the same rotate. I mean, I'll show it to you, but it was not off of the Potter box. No. Just watched your video explaining how to find Potter boxes. Looking forward to learning more. Awesome. Yeah, write those questions down. That's dope that you just went and watched that, though. I did do ONDS. It'll be posted on YouTube. OLN. Yeah, I'm about to hop off here in just a second. Simple. OLN needs a 24-hour candle close over 2688, and there is a good setup. Not familiar with its game or how it trades, but it does have a great setup to 2966 and 3121. So it looks good. Your baby girl was born 9 days ago. Dude, congrats, Dusty. That's awesome, man. Congrats, man. PLTR needs to make it back up above 133.50, which should be a surefire trigger to potentially take it back up. But this range on the 2 hour, and depending on where we open up next week or this week, it'll be over 135.24, but over 137. That's where this play can really open up. And you have golden opportunities on this once, and there's some really key levels that have to break. That is it, and that's 140.50. 140.50, and I think you could get it all the way to 155. What broker do I use? TradeStation. So yeah, sorry, I didn't finish that one. LW, this one looks like a probably is going to pull back. I would be looking at actually the bid dropped here at the end of the day too. I'd be looking at a pullback. One of the first areas that you're going to look for that pullback is 48.90 and 48. But it is building, or rather has built an area that you can punch back through later at $51. So, do I recommend Webull? Not long term. Not long term. It's not the preferred brokerage. In the moments that matter, yeah. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. I got to go say goodnight to the kiddos. But workshop is on March 1st. March 1st at 5:30. It will be recorded, and all those will be given. You'll have access to those recordings forever. Um, Mahalo. Yeah, but everybody, if you don't get the workshop, go to my YouTube channel. All of that is for free. Write your questions down and bring them to the live streams next week, and we'll answer those questions in our pre-market or post-market lives. But y'all have a great night. Thanks for watching. Peace out.